Good morning. How are you? You've woken up, eh? Please remind me of the tongue twisters that I gave you the other day. Can you remember them? About Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, why can't I pick a pack of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? Huh? You can give your own other tongue twisters. Can you rise up and breathe in and breathe out? Timothy, you are not breathing in. Breathe in, Timothy, and stretch from the sleep out. And do some exercises. Some of you are too lazy to do an exercise. Again, then you are waking up. You can take some time and do aerobics, some sit-ups, some leg raises, some press-ups, and the rope skipping is also very, very important to burn the fats and to ease. Now that you cannot go for road work outside. Now, this is science today, and I want us to do a recap of what we learned last time. Last time, we introduced the topic waterborne diseases. We introduced the topic of waterborne diseases. And I want you to remind me the waterborne diseases that we learned about the other time. Travis, are you there? Are you alert? Tell me one waterborne disease, Travis. Thank you. One waterborne disease was cholera. Good. Cholera. Trickster. Are you there? Trickster, don't be sleeping now. It's time to learn. One waterborne disease. I'm waiting. Good. Typhoid. Thank you. Typhoid is a waterborne disease. Baldwin, tell me the other waterborne disease. Baldwin, great. Thank you, Baldwin. You have mentioned it. Bilharzia. That is another waterborne disease. And the last one. Where is this girl? Shama, where are you? Yeah, tell me one waterborne disease. Great, dysentery. Dysentery is another waterborne disease. Boys and girls, the syllabus provides us to mention the four, but discuss three: cholera, typhoid, and bilharzia. That's very good. What did we say that cholera is caused by? Cholera, what is it caused by? Isaiah, Buka. Correct, a bacteria. Caused by a bacteria. Caused by a bacteria. Thank you. And how is it spread? Violet, tell us how it's spread. How is it spread? Cholera is spread in two ways. Cholera is carried by houseflies and eating contaminated food and water. Spread by houseflies. And contaminated water and food. Very good. Clap for yourselves. You're brilliant children. Now, we want to remember some simple terms here. Signs and symptoms. Signs mean physical response to an infection or to infections. They are physical. They can be seen, so they are visible. They can be seen, like rashes. You can see somebody vomiting. That's a sign. You can see somebody coughing. That's a sign. Diarrhea. That's a sign. You can see the swellings. Those are signs. They are physical, so they are visible. But symptoms are hidden. They are only felt. They are responses that are detected by diagnosis. You can only detect them by diagnosis. So they are only felt from the inside. Those are symptoms. I hope you understand the difference. So you can only diagnose a symptom. You cannot tell what they are until you diagnose them. Thank you. Now, before we go to typhoid, I would like us to remind ourselves of these terms. We might have learned them in class 5, and some of you might have forgotten them. Syndrome. Syndrome is a set of signs and symptoms that are recurring for a period of time. Syndrome. That's a set of signs. I'm not writing for you. You will write them after understanding. Syndrome is a set of signs and symptoms, that are recurring for a long time of a certain disease. Then a prescription. What is a prescription? That one I'm not telling you. You tell me what a prescription is. What is a prescription? Whom do I see awake? Mark Msembi. Now tell me what is a prescription? Yes, I hope you have said it correctly. A prescription is a written advice, a written note by a doctor to a patient to take to a pharmacy, describing the kind of medicine and the dosage to be taken. That's a prescription. Diagnosis. A diagnosis is an examination carried by a doctor or a clinical officer about a certain disease, an examination. And then we can also say it's a laboratory test, a result after a laboratory test about a certain disease. That's a diagnosis. What about incubation period? Am I going to tell you everything? No. You find out what incubation period is. Incubation period. Are we together? Look for it. And you will tell me. And this one I'm giving to Sylvia. Please, Sylvia, find out what that one is. Incubation period. So today, I want us to look at typhoid. Typhoid. I have prepared something here for you. It is caused by a bacteria, just like the cholera. It's caused by a bacteria. It affects the intestines. It affects the intestines. It's spread by drinking contaminated water and food. It's spread by drinking contaminated water and food. There are some symptoms here. Signs and symptoms. Remember, I've explained the meaning of signs. Signs are physical and symptoms are not physical. Okay? Now, some science questions would be asking, which one of the following is not a sign? And so you look for the one that is not physical. That becomes the sign. So today, we look at the signs and symptoms of typhoid. Temperature, fever is one sign. The temperature rises. So the patient becomes feverish. Joints and muscles ache. aches in joints and muscles. They begin to ache. You feel some pain in joints and muscles. Severe headache. Severe headache. Severe headache. Headache. Severe headache. Sometimes there's skin rashes. Skin rashes. Skin rashes. There are skin rashes. There's abdominal pain. Abdominal pain. There's abdominal pain. Abdominal pain. And then diarrhea and vomiting. The patient may, I say may, diarrhea or vomit. May diarrhea or vomit. Now you have seen, these are the signs and symptoms of typhoid. Among them we have signs and among them we have symptoms. We have fever. Can you see fever? You can't see fever. You can't see fever. So fever is not a sign. Fever is a symptom. Aches in joint. Can you see them? You cannot see them, but you can feel them. This is a symptom. I'm just guiding you on how to differentiate between signs and symptoms. Severe headache. You can't see it. You can feel it. That's a symptom. Skin rashes. You can see them on the skin. So they are physical. And so skin rashes are signs. Good. Abdominal pain. Can you see abdominal pain? You cannot see abdominal pain. So this is a symptom. Then may diarrhea or vomit. Diarrhea you can see. You can literally see somebody diarrheaing or vomiting. So that is a sign. That's a sign. So boys and girls, you are supposed to know when we write the signs and symptoms, you are supposed to differentiate them. Because if they come in the examination and all these ones come as choices, you are supposed to choose the one that is right. So some are signs and others are symptoms. Now let's look at preventive measures of typhoid. How do we prevent typhoid? How do we prevent typhoid fever? How do we prevent typhoid fever? Proper hygiene is one. Proper hygiene. How do you write hygiene? Is it written that way? Proper hygiene. Yes, one letter has come before the other. These two have to interchange so that we have I, then E. Proper hygiene. Thank you. That is proper hygiene. You maintain proper hygiene. Hygiene is personal cleanliness. Personal cleanliness. Washing hands after visiting toilet. Splashing the toilet after using it, keeping it very well and clean, washing utensils, before handling the food, washing your hands. That is proper hygiene. Number two, sanitation. Proper sanitation. Proper sanitation. proper sanitation. Proper sanitation. The sinks are clean. The provision of clean water, clean drinking water, and enough to clean the utensils and the food. You know, they must be enough. Toilets are available and they are neat. If they are pit latrines, they are covered to avoid those things. You don't go to the toilet, or don't go to dispose excreta outside on the land. You don't take bath in the river. That's it. Drinking boiled water or treated water. Drinking drinking boiled or treated water. Remember, it's also spread through contaminated water. Don't drink water from the tap directly. You don't know whether it's clean or not. Washing hands thoroughly before eating. Washing hands thoroughly. Not just washing hands, but it must be thoroughly before eating or handling food. Before eating or handling food, wash your hands thoroughly. You see that? Washing foods that are eaten raw. Wash food that is eaten raw. Kama ijapikwa raw, you wash it thoroughly. Which food is this? Some vegetables are eaten raw, some fruits are eaten raw, and so you must wash them thoroughly. Keep toilets and pit latrines clean. Keep toilets and pit latrines clean. Keep them clean and covered all the time. Boiling and pasteurizing milk. Proper disposal. Proper disposal of human waste. Usitupe nini ya watoto nje. Proper disposal of human waste. Proper disposal of human waste. Don't dispose the feces anywhere or anyhow. You need to be very careful. Another one is washing hands with soap after visiting the toilet. With soap after visiting the toilet. Always. And maybe the last one, we could say covering food to keep away flies. Covering food. Covering food to keep the flies away. Boys and girls, these are the preventive measures, and so we can prevent typhoid from infecting us in these simple methods. Corona has now taught us how to wash our hands thoroughly and frequently, or with soap over running water. So the prevention of corona will help us even prevent typhoid. Boys and girls, please observe these measures strictly without supervision, because you will be minding about your health. So what have we learned today? Today we've learned the disease called typhoid. and we've learned that it's caused by a bacteria, and it affects the intestines. It's spread through drinking contaminated water and food. We have learned the signs and symptoms of typhoid fever, and they are lined here, boys and girls. Today we also learned new terms: the syndrome, prescription, diagnosis, incubation period. We have learned the difference between signs and symptoms, and we did a recap of the last lesson. I hope this is going to make you, is to help you in your day-to-day life. Thank you so much. God bless you.